Yo, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Entity here, and welcome to episode 10 of the Anipoke Bros podcast. Yay! We hit 10 episodes! Woo! I am joined with the PokeRef.
Hello.
And Lumios Trainer Zach.
What's up, Lumios Trainers? Lumios Trainer Zach here.
Oh wow, you're gonna keep doing that all the time now? Hell yeah. But, alright, so in today's podcast, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be talking about the special preview for 2021 of Pokemon Journeys, some new titles and summaries we received, some other questions here and there you guys have for us, such as will Ash catch more Pokemon, and any details we may have left out in our opening reaction and review. So, yeah, let's just jump right into this, starting with the special preview, boys. Wow, there is a lot to talk about this special preview. Raf, how about you start us off with that today?
Yes, so we received some nice segments of upcoming episodes, of course, with the most popular being to do with Farfetch'd. You're going to see a nice segment of Chloe riding a Galarian Rapidash. We saw Opal. Oh my gosh, what else did we see? We saw Sobble with an Inteleon. And I think the best thing to start off from this is that, wow, lots of exciting stuff to come. We already have the Farfetch'd episode coming out on Friday. Probably get a small little insight or start to the potential arc that's going to be coming up for him. I've got mixed thoughts on some of this stuff, so I'll probably mention it, of course, when we talk about the future episode titles. But yeah, there was a lot of life in that trailer. I think everyone's quite excited to see Tutor return as well, seeing as they weren't too sure about the Ketchum machine. What else was there to mention? Gosh, it seems like it was so long ago. I think it's just because the new opening is literally just...
I mean, it was on Christmas Day, bro.
Yeah, what were we doing on Christmas Day? What were we doing on Christmas Day? But yeah, there's a lot of great stuff to come to it. I'll pass it over to Zach for him to elaborate, and then we can just, of course, explain more when the episode titles.
Alright, yeah, sure.
I feel like, Raph, you pretty much hit all the major points.
Except Grookey, surprisingly.
I was gonna I was gonna be like, except for Grookey, but whatever. Alright, yeah, Grookey. Just left out Grookey, which is a big thing. And as we saw in the new opening, it seems like Ash and Go are gonna be both trying to get it, which is interesting. And I like that they're keeping it like vague as to who's gonna get it, because obviously we know that we've seen Score Bunny for a very long time. We've seen Sobble for like since episode 28 that it came out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so Grookey's the only starter who hasn't been seen for the longest time, which is weird. So it's like they're keeping it from us, and like they don't want to make it too obvious, because I feel like right now it looks like Go will be the one to get it. Since he already has two starters, it only makes sense maybe to complete the trio, but I feel like a lot of fans want Ash to get it. So that's the interesting part. But then there's also, kind of going back to some of the other stuff, one of the biggest things I'm excited about is the involvement of Kamon. Because he's finally getting screen time. He hasn't done anything. He already has an episode coming this week, and now he's gonna. It looks like the Wickstrom episode is gonna be separate. So he's definitely getting some development, which is nice to see.
Yeah. So yeah, those are pretty much all the exciting. Well, actually, to be honest, the thing I'm looking most excited for is actually Opal, because it'll be the next gym leader from Gala we'll be seeing since B, and aside from Raihan, yeah, B was the only one that we've seen anyway, so we're going through the Gala gym leaders now, which makes me very happy. And because her gym is obviously in Glimwood, well, near Glimwood Tangle, I can't remember the actual city name, I really do feel like that on the journey there, that's where, you know, Chloe will get her Ponyta we saw in the opening, and it was actually getting teased quite a lot in merch, wasn't it, Raph? So it's very nice to see that finally come into play. And with what we saw in the special preview there, it looks very majestic and all of that, so I can't wait to see that episode. And maybe catching more of these Pokemon will help Chloe realize more what she wants to do for an actual goal. No rush though, because she's only really started going on an actual journey now. But at least there's actually been hints placed in the earlier episodes as well, such as researching and whatnot. But aside from Opal and Ponyta, Grookey is some... like Zach said, I feel like it's gonna go to Girl. And the reason why I feel like it's gonna go to Girl is because... And I've said this in a reaction that I ended up cutting out, so, you know, this will be a repeat to you boys. But for all the audience out there, basically... I feel like Dracovish may have been Ash's last Pokemon, because, think about it like this. we were speeding through Ash's captures, you know, it was like 5 episodes apart or something like that. We went from Dragonite to Gengar very quickly, and then Riolu after that, and then Farfetch'd. But it took a long time to get to his 6th capture here, which was Dracovish. And even before that even happened, I feel like the anime, and I know all of us can agree here, haven't been doing the greatest job of giving Ash's Pokemon equal screen time. So I feel like with Farfetch'd, especially now getting screen time finally, since like its B battle and before then its fucking debut episode, I feel like they have they need to start focusing more on Ash's current team, that there wouldn't be any room left to add another member to Ash's team, which, you know, if I'm correct in this, I am kind of disappointed, because I would have really loved to see Ash have a rotation team like we predicted back in 2019, I believe it was, or something like that. But
I think when the series first started,
yeah, but truly with how his Pokemon haven't been getting that much spotlight, I feel like if they really want to make us invested in his team, they're gonna have to start giving us more episodes, much like Farfetch'd here, for us to, you know, grow a bond with them and all of that. So that's why I don't feel like Ash would be getting another Pokemon. I know you, however, Zach, had a counter for that, so if you wanna, you know, elaborate on that.
Like, I hope you're wrong, because just because of the way they handled Dracovish's capture, like, it just seems very, like, meh. Like, they could have done better, especially if this was supposed to be Ash's last team member of the series, because the thing with that, its capture was also hand in hand with Arctozolt, so it wasn't really like an Ash-focused episode. It was like an Ash and Go thing, and I feel like it makes Ash's last capture seem less special because it happens at the same time as Go's last capture. So I feel like, I don't know, it feels like maybe they just wanted to give Ash a Dracovish just to be cool, you know, show up the fossils, give one to each protagonist, because they're not companions, protagonists. But it's still, because, like, I don't know, like, I feel like every time Ash makes a capture, it's never like, I don't know, this has been my least favorite one, I feel like, of Journeys. The way it's been handled, just kind of like whatever. I wasn't a big fan of the episode either, so like I just feel like this isn't the end for Ash. And like, even though I feel like it makes the most sense for Go to get Grookey, I still want Ash to get it. I'm still holding on to the fact that I want Ash to get it. And the fact that they played with that in the intro means like it's a possibility, you never know. So like we'll see. Like, if Ash doesn't get Grookey though, then I don't think he's really catching anything else, because it's like, what else could you really give him that'll be like exciting? I mean, you know what I mean? Dracovish is kind of exciting, but that got spoiled. So
that's a good point to bring up, because if you look back at all of the previous captures, we've had Dragonite had a whole episode focused on it and its evolution when Ash was caring for it and teaching it how to do Dragon Dance. Gengar, abandoned by its trainer, was with Ash, had a crazy battle with Team Rocket. Riolu, self-explanatory. Farfetch'd was pretty much a last-minute.com thing after the Raihan, and literally, bro, I'll never forget that reaction when me and Ben woke up and you're like, don't watch the reaction yet. It was literally like a last-minute.com thing, because after the Raihan and Leon battle, even, and then Dracovish, like Zach just said, was pretty much handed to him for a scenario that happened. Like, it would have been better if, like, Ash found a fossil along his journey and then he came back to the curator and they found out about it and then he created it for himself, rather than just going on this quote-unquote expedition thing, of course, for the like Galar research. So it's going to be interesting if they actually do give Ash Grookey in the end, because you've got half of his team that have had a backstory on how they were caught, half of their team of like how it was just so random, and then for a high demand starter Pokemon, I mean, I do actually hope he gets it, but at the same time, it depends if they're going to go forward with the rotation, and I really do hope they do something maybe on like a minimum of 8, but it's all in the air at the moment.
Exactly, it's very unpredictable. But to be fair, despite Farfetch'd being random as well, this is something I wanted to bring up in today's podcast as well. I've been hearing like some debates over, is Farfetch'd's capture or Dracovish's capture better? And I wanted to say that I personally feel like Farfetch'd is definitely better in my opinion, because it was so Ash-like to me, in my opinion. Like, he motivated Farfetch'd while battling it, using one of his other Pokemon to give it his all, and that was just it was so Ash-like. I found it brilliant. Meanwhile, in episode 50, He just ran with the fossil.
Yeah,
That's
he just
it.
wanted to play. He just wanted to play with Djokovic. He was like, "Oh, you've had your water swim now. You've had your little swim. Let's go and have some fun." And then he starts like he jumps out of the water and he's like literally charging back to the group. And it's like, where's like
Yeah.
you know the
It
point?
wasn't-
What's the point?
They didn't really have a lot of time to like bond or anything. And if you think about it, the fossils were just kind of given to them. Like I feel like Ash and Dracovish bonded just as much as like Go and Arctazol, to be honest. Like,
Oh yeah.
like I mean, they gave him the water and now they're friends, but it's like still
A gift
that's not really
Pokemon.
impactful. Like
Yeah.
at least Farfetch had a battle, like you said, Ben. Like they had the moment where they motivated each other and it was just awesome, and they connected in that way. But it's like with Dracovish, it was just like, oh, here's a fossil. Oh, he's thirsty. All right, you can keep him. That's it.
Yeah, literally, the scientists were like, "Yeah, we got our research. You could keep it." And even Ash was surprised. He was like, "I can." It's like, okay, cool.
It's the gift mechanic, isn't it? They literally gifted it to him.
Yeah.
Oh my god. But yeah, I guess that's our thoughts on the whole question of do we think Ash will get another Pokemon or not, and some more insight to what we thought of that latest episode. But let's get back on track of the special preview, I guess. If there is actually anything else you guys want to add on to that, because for me personally, yeah, it was a pretty cool trailer. Definitely not as impactful as the Karina one, for example, in my opinion. But it was a really cool to see on Christmas Day, and it's just exciting stuff to see in Pokemon Journeys. And to be fair, some of the summaries and titles we'll be going over do cover some of this as well. There was actually Wickstrom. I'm surprised none of us actually.
I think we were going to mention that more in the Farfetch'd section.
I think he's not in that episode next week though. I think it's another
Nah.
episode.
Yeah, it's going to be after.
Yeah, well, with that, let's move on to the titles and summaries received then. So, as always, we'll start in order. So, the first one, of course, is the Farfetch'd episode, like we've been saying, which is the Great Farfetch'd Trial. The summary for this episode states, quote, Ash and Farfetch'd are really psyched about the Pokemon World Championships as they head to Rock Tunnel, where a massive outbreak of Geodude is taking place in order to train there. There, they happen to find the trainer Gemba, whose partner is Gerda, and decide to have an official match with them. How will this super-powered match between Leek and Steel Beam that makes sparks fly all... Jesus Christ, what description! Sparks fly all over end. And what is the trial Farfetch'd will have to face? End quote. Alright, Zach, you can jump in onto this straight away then.
All right, so first of all, finally, someone other than Lucario and Pikachu getting spotlight. And like, what I love the fact is that they emphasize that it's a world championship battle. It's a world coronation series battle. So it's important to the plot. Finally, because we haven't seen, there's been a complaint that's been going around Twitter and stuff like that lately too. It's like, it's been a while since the last world coronation series battle for Ash. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's about time it happened. It's about time it's finally Farfetch'd, because usually it's just Pikachu or Riolu against randomers. And even against important characters like B, like, it's still Riolu and Pikachu, you know what I mean? So, like, it's about damn time, because, like, Farfetch'd only had that one battle against B, and it lost, and it never got to redeem itself. So it seems like Ash is finally giving it the time it deserves. So Dragonite has been getting some more appearances lately, which is great. Gengar did make an appearance during the Darkest Day, which is also good. Farfetch'd didn't even appear in the Darkest Day arc, and that's his region where he got caught, bro. Yeah. It was so annoying. So, like, I'm just glad he's getting the development he deserves. And when the Wickstrom episode came up in the preview, a lot of us were worried that, oh shit, is this the episode where Farfetch'd is gonna evolve, because he barely did anything. So it seems weird to have him evolve so quickly. But thankfully it seems like it's not. It seems like these are separate episodes, because Wickstrom is nowhere to be found in the titles, summaries, or even the voice cast list. So it's like, it just seems like it's focusing on this character of the day basically, and that's what's gonna help Farfetch'd develop. So if he does evolve, let's say in the Wickstrom episode, which is going to be later on, obviously, I'll be okay with that, because at least he had some development here. Like, it's still a little bit rushed if you ask me, because Farfetch'd hasn't really done anything. But at this point, we can we'll take what we can get. You know what I mean?
Yeah, just to make up for everything.
Definitely.
And I'm gonna pass it on to Raph, because I think he has a bit of a little theory and idea he's been throwing around about Farfetch'd in the next episode.
So we know that there's going to be a trainer with a Gallade in that episode as well. And obviously we know that Farfetch'd is going to be wanting to overcome a certain trial. It's most likely going to be to take on this girder. So in the preview trailer, there was a segment where they're both fighting. Actually, let's begin with the beginning of the preview trailer. Camon was losing itself. It was going crazy with training, and it was even swinging Ash around. So maybe it was just going a little bit berserk because it wanted to try and do better than its current state. You know, it's had a downfall. It's lost to B. It's got slapped up so many times by Riolu as a punching bag and all that. So it's probably thinking, you know what, this is my time now to get my shine and my redemption. So maybe Ash was trying to calm it down in that part of the trailer, or the preview trailer even, and maybe it wasn't having it. It wanted to do its own thing, hence why it was smashing up all the rocks. But jumping onto the training with Gallade, in the preview trailer, there is a segment where Farfetch'd's leak is glowing green. Now, everyone, including myself, believe it's probably going to be a new move that's taught to it, which is Leaf Blade, and that is a move that Galarian Farfetch'd can learn. But also, I've literally just thought of this now, maybe the Gallade trainer teaches Farfetch'd Leaf Blade because Gallade can learn Leaf Blade as a TR in Galar. So I don't know if, like, in the Galar games, of course, but so I don't know if there's going to be some maybe correlation to that maybe Ash comes across this trainer with the Gallade, wants to learn a new move, teaches Leaf Blade to Farfetch'd, and then that's when it learns it in the battle, or maybe it learns it prior to the battle. I mean, Trey did come up with a really good theory thinking that Farfetch'd would learn Iron Defense, and I'm starting to think now that would probably come more onto the Wickstrom episode, seeing as we've seen Farfetch'd in armor and it's covered in like this knight form and everything, just taking on Aegislash. But I think, like Zach was saying, I think the evolution is going to be definitely coming during the Wickstrom episode, and in this episode that's coming this week, it's most likely just going to be a development arc for it to kickstart its changing confidence and battling and teach itself a new move. But I don't know, there's just a couple of theories going around speculating on how it's going to learn a move or if it will even learn a new move. But I think the preview trailer gives it away a little bit, seeing as the leak's glowing green, unless if it's some, I don't know, some wannabe overgrow ability that's coming out of the leak and it's just taking over. But that's probably minor for that.
What a very, very interesting stuff.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really know what else to add on to that after that great theory. Oh my god. I mean, I'm excited because, like Zach said, you know, Farfetch'd hasn't really been getting that much screen time. But to be fair, like he also said, since the Darkest Day, everyone's been getting a little bit more screen time. So I am hopeful Pokemon Journeys is indeed giving them equal screen time now. And this Farfetch'd episode is another great example of that. Giving me a lot of vibes to some episodes we've seen in the past as well, such as the Sun and Moon training episodes with like Litten evolving into Torika or Rowlet learning Seed Bomb. They just spend the entire episode training, so I'm excited because I do adore episodes like that, very much so indeed. Yeah, that's all I've really got to say.
It's a good opportunity. It's a good opportunity. Like Zach said, it's been ages. Like the last time we saw it, like even attempt to battle was what, against B, and that was the first one. So
yeah. Oh, there was that one episode where like Ash was training with Pikachu and Riolu, and then Gengar, Dragonite, and Farfetch'd were watching. He's like, "All right, guys, it's time for you guys to get training." And then Go cuts him off. Oh wait, we found B. Let's go. That was the worst.
Oh, actually, I know what to add on. Yes, because this is the first World Coronation Series battle we'll see in a long time. I'm glad we're going back to randomers as well, because I loved getting to see Ash battle these random trainers. I mean, obviously I released the best of the reaction series recently, and even our reactions to that can be really good, such as the Meganium one, for example. Like,
I was going nuts.
Exactly. They could be surprisingly good if they put their mindset to it, and this episode, it looks like it's going to be another one of those Meganium ones, so I'm really excited. No bullshit one like fucking Heracross, for example. That was just terrible. And then others got cut off as well, such as Riolu versus Electables or something like that. But the point is, when we do get to see this on screen, I do really admire it a lot, and it does make the world of Pokemon seem a lot bigger with Ash battling these randomers instead of, you know, gym leaders all the time in the World Coronation Series or something like that, or a rival from the past, who knows. So yeah, that's just something I wanted to put out there that I appreciate about Journeys. Also, their fucking character designs as well. I love the character designs for character of the days in this anime as well. Fucking great. The Gallade dude, he looks really good there. But with that out of the way, let's move on to the next. Oh, I just realized what the next episode is. Okay, so the next episode is Hands-on Aquaculture Studies. Where is Digda? The summary states, quote, "A huge amount of vegetables addressed to Cerise Labs have arrived alongside a letter. The sender is Professor Cerise's former student, Endo, who is now a farmer." Yeah, a fucking farmer. Endo writes that he's been having trouble recently due to Digda and Dugtrio ravaging his field. So Ashko and Chloe head to Endo's field to investigate and find out why these Pokemon are doing this. End quote. Why is this day my birthday?
You're gonna have fun on your birthday?
Oh,
Bro.
fucking trash. Oh, yeah.
Of course, it had to be an episode that Chloe's in.
Bro!
Chloe's not in the Farfetch'd episode, and that one looks like it's gonna be great.
Bruh, Zach. You never.
You might as well start it off, Ben, seeing as
Poor
you know
Chloe,
a
bro.
birthday special for you.
Yeah, it's the episode that ends near my birthday. The reaction will be released on my actual birthday, so that's why I keep saying birthday. But I mean, it's just a filler episode. What is there to say? It's another Diglett and Dugtrio episode as well, but like, you know, Johnny's wants to go through every single Pokemon in existence, so eventually we had to get to Diglett and Dugtrio. And, you know, at least when this title got revealed, like, last year, and we didn't have a summary, people were saying, oh my god, imagine if this was on the Isle of Armor, Ash and Gil were doing that, and they get to explore the Isle of Armor while doing this or whatever. And I was like, well, at least it would make it a little bit more interesting. But here, it's just so fucking simple. A fucking farm? And, yeah, it's just gonna be another episode that we just get out of the way and then move straight on to the next episode. That's
Hey, it might not be filler. Go might catch a Diglett. That makes it not filler.
Shut up.
You know what? He probably will. He probably will. He's probably gonna catch one stray Diglett that, like, oh, you
A
want to
Diglett or a Dugtrio.
Yeah, he might get the whole evolutionary line.
Oh, to be fair,
There's only 2 Pokemon to get, so it's not that hard.
he did, in the Alola episode, he did find an Alola and Dugtrio, so he might go to Ash. Oh, wait, the Dugtrio we saw in Alola was different to this one here or whatever, so that might be nice.
That sounds like the Sun and Moon stand and you just reaching for a Sun and Moon. Flash Alola reference.
I mean, at
I
least
don't think they do that.
I mean, at least I'm not like XY stance, let's just say that.
I'm just gonna stay quiet.
We've seen Twitter, that's all I'm gonna say. But yeah, yeah, I mean, guys, it's your turn to talk about this episode.
I mean, I don't think there's really much to say. Just like a basic Diglett episode. Based off the summary, it kind of reminds me of episode 31 from the original series, the Diglett episode, the original one.
Yeah, with Gary and all that.
Like, but yeah, and even from my memory, that episode wasn't too crazy either. So it's, I don't know. I'm expecting Team Rocket to be there. Let's be honest, like just a basic standard episode. New Pokemon, Pokemon of the episode. We learn about Diglett, Dugtrio. Team Rocket tried to steal them or whatever. Maybe make a joke about, oh, you can't see what's under Diglett or some meta shit like that, because it sounds like something Team Rocket would do.
Oh shit!
Call it a day.
Or maybe have like, oh, what's underneath Diglett, and then they do one of them stupid little fantasies where they try to imagine what's underneath Diglett.
Yeah, that sounds like a type of joke they'd make in Journey. To be honest.
I've just remembered something. This is something we've got to talk about during the special preview. Chuto. So yeah, as we've said in our reaction series as well, we believe Team Rocket may be straying away from the gacha, and if that's true, then, you know, that's gonna be really awesome. But hopefully in this Diglett episode here, they don't fucking use the gacha, so, you know, we're a bit correct. Or if so, it'll be minor appearances so they can focus more on Chuto like it is suggested in the special preview, and of course more Peko because, you know, it got a special spotlight in the opening there, and then of course, you know, had the Eaton contest recently as well. So I just wanted to bring that up quickly as well. I mean, is there anything else you guys want to add on to that, or now should we move on?
Just one quick thing. Some people are quite confused as to why Chloe was in this episode that's recently aired. And then, of course, why she's not going to be in the Farfetch'd episode. Just to point out some of the details that she mentioned in the previous episode, in the Dracovish one, she wanted to make sure that she caught up with all her priorities, like school and everything. And let's not forget that also, because it's a research episode, she's obviously... That's just to clear up the confusion some people are having on the timeline.
Yes, that is very true indeed. But alright, let's move on to the next episode here, boys, which is titled Getting a Legend. Search for Suicune, the guardian duty of water. The summary states, quote, Ash and Go have received an eyewitness account regarding the legendary Pokemon Suicune. They spot Suicune at the lake they went to investigate, but it seems someone is after it. Will they be able to work together to resolve this situation? End quote. And I feel like, you know, I have an idea of who this somebody may be, because we did, I don't think we, actually, did we see him in the, yeah, we did see him in the original series. I feel like it may be that dude from the Heart Gold Soul Silver games, Gold, Silver, and Crystal, who is very invested in the legendary beasts.
You seen?
Yes, him.
You seen?
Yes.
Oh, I was actually going to say that as well. I thought he was just going to, what, you think he's going to come to like, or maybe Suicune's going to get the wrong idea of the stick and is going to be like, oh, this person's after me and is quote-unquote hunting me rather than just like wanting to learn more about me. Because I had that on the notes as well. I think we're going to get a potential tease of him or even like some flashback. Yeah, that's a good point.
Because, I mean, like, literally, like it says in the summary here, yes, someone is after it. It could be him. I mean, he probably just, I mean, yeah, he just wants to pretty much observe it most of the time, but... Yeah, I feel like that could be a reference to him. If not, then it definitely is, you know, just a random character of the day, most likely, then.
Yeah.
But either way, with how the Zapdos episode went, and, Mewtwo for that matter as well, I've actually enjoyed the episodes where Ash and Go have a battle with a legendary Pokemon. They've led to very epic moments, and... Oh, I just can't get over a Zapdos reaction, especially that was so fucking funny. When the Pokeball got thrown, oh my god. Do I think Go will catch Suicune in this episode though? No, but you know, it's just gonna be.
Just to touch on that, you know what? It's about Pokefan. It's a bit bait. Like they saw the Pokefan scan of Go posing with Suicune. He's like, oh my god, he caught it. And then they completely forgot about, apparently all the other legendary beasts are going to be featuring that episode as well, quote unquote, referencing the Pokefan scan. Guys, calm down. Don't judge just yet. He tried to catch a Zapdos, it didn't work. Will he catch a legendary roaming beast? We will find out, but it's not going to happen.
I mean,
quote me on this later.
What do you call it as well? When it comes to these magazine scans, or just in general, when it comes to Japanese media, it's very, very clickbaity. And you can see that in some Pokemon episode titles as well. I mean, let's use the Kalos League, for example. But, keep that in mind as well, guys. They just do this to get your attention as if it was a YouTube video, much like how this video is titled to get your attention as well. So, yeah. But let's hear your thoughts, Zach.
It's clickbait. So I am hoping it's Usain, but I don't know. Based off of that little summary, I don't think it is. But we'll see. Cause I mean, I feel like if it was, they would have said who it was. Because usually, whenever a returning character comes back, they usually mention who it is.
True.
So I wonder why they keep it a secret. Maybe it's like some antagonist, some bad guy just trying to steal Suicune or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, as for the Pokefan scan, it's definitely clickbait. I feel like if Go was to catch it, they wouldn't spoil it like that. Like, I feel like they'd keep it a surprise. It's usually the fucking Anipoke PR Twitter account that spoils shit. So yeah, I don't think it'll be like maybe a cool moment where like they have a momentary connection. You know how Ash usually does with legendaries, but then he'll go off into the distance and it'll be the end. But it'll still be. I feel like it could be a good episode because you know who doesn't love Suicune.
Yeah.
Here's another thing. I hope it takes place in Johto because I don't think it specifies if it takes place in Johto or not, but I feel like it should. But they might use the excuse like, oh, it's a roaming Pokemon. He can go wherever he wants. So he just so happens to be in the fucking Cerise lab because every episode takes place there for some reason.
According to Pokefan here, it says all the legendary Pokemon from the Johto region, but that's the only mention of Johto.
Yeah, from Johto. It doesn't say they are in Johto.
Yeah.
So that's what has me worried. But yeah, I don't know really what else to say. It just seems like, I mean, I'm like, we already talked about kind of like the Zapdos episode, maybe similar vibes like that. Maybe we'll get that for like every few episodes or so. We'll get like a new legendary that kind of is the main focus. That Ash and Go team up, try to battle or whatever. We get some cool moments. As long as we get a cool battle between the two, I'm fine. You know what I mean? As long as it's not the fucking Ho-Oh episode, then it's all right.
Yeah, definitely. yeah, I think that's all we're gonna say for that episode. So let's move on to the final episode now, boys, in our batch here, which has no summary, but it's called Meson Impossible, which is to do with the Inteleon we saw in the special preview. Because Impossible definitely gives vibes to, Inteleon due to James Bond and all of that. But,
Mission Impossible, bro. Mission Impossible.
Exactly.
James Charles.
But, alright, Raph, you start us off with this one if you have any thoughts, because again, there's no summary.
Yeah, I've only got two things to think from it. I reckon maybe an Inteleon appears to help Sobble come out of its shell, even though it's obviously known to be the sobbing Pokemon. Maybe it will lead to some potential development. It might be inspired by Inteleon to grow some more confidence in battle, as shown in the Flygon episode. Go was trying to capture Flygon, Sobble and Reboot, confidently taken on in a little brother duo as they are. The other point to bring forward, of course, is the potential Drizzle evolution, and that's relating to all the recent merch coming up. But personally, I don't think. I mean, who knows? I mean, the way that they executed Scorbunny's evolution into Raboot was a bit like, what the heck? So maybe the writers are going to do something again with Sobble, but I hope they don't do that because I like Sobble the way it is. It's got its unique selling point to be that Pokemon that cries with Go and, has to get hugged by Dragonite, and it's got a bit of a personality with it when it's smiling, and it's just a cute Pokemon. Drizzle was cool, but at the same time, I'd rather it stay as a Sobble, but I don't know. Again, it's all in the air.
To be fair, in the 2021 calendar in Japan, it's a Sobble in every single month. They spoiled Cinderace and Lucario for that, so
That's true.
I feel like if it was to evolve, it would have been a Drizzle in some of the pages there, but it's not. And it is a walk. Well, I suppose it would still be a walking Pokemon like.
Cinderace goes in its Pokeball now a couple of times, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Too big to animate. To have to walk around all the time.
But they did that with. But then again, the other themes and all of that, I guess. But, what was I going to say, though? Yeah, I feel like if it was to evolve into Drizzle as well... look at its design. It looks like an emo. I feel like it'll be on a bit of a similar level to Raboot. You know what I'm saying? So they wouldn't want to go...
Young, edgy face.
Yeah, exactly. They wouldn't want to go in that direction, either. Obviously, that could be a personality change, but,
Yeah, that's the thing.
Anyway,
who knows?
Let's hear your thoughts.
Yeah, so I hope it doesn't evolve because I feel like they've done a good job now, kind of marketing, the two partner Pokemon. So you have the big one, the main ones, the furry ones, Lucario and Cinderace, which are like the heavy hitters, and then you have the cute partner Pokemon, the small ones that go on your shoulder, Pikachu and Sobble. So to have all of a sudden now Sobble evolve would be out of place because that's been the whole thing. It's like Ash and Go are equals now. They have Lucario's the counterpart to Cinderace, Pikachu's the counterpart to Sobble. So that would just kind of mess everything up. I feel like this episode just seems like maybe it's just development for Sobble because he hasn't really had an episode that really focused on him since his capture episode, really. So maybe just some development. Maybe he learns a new move where it finally stops that gag where it cries and makes everyone else cry. Maybe it just matures a bit more, but it won't evolve because based off the preview, it seems like it gets inspired by Inteleon, and then we see a training segment. It seems like between Ash and Go, and Pikachu's going against Sobble, and he gets scared. So maybe it's just an episode where it gets development, it toughens up, but doesn't evolve because, like you said, it looks emo. It's gonna be kind of like Raboot. I don't want it to evolve. I feel like they've done a good job of setting up Sobble as all right, we're gonna fully evolve Cinderace, but Sobble's gonna be the small one, the first stage starter that's gonna stay cute, kind of like how Ash had Incineroar and then Rowlet to kind of balance it out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Alright, well, with the titles and summaries out of the way, let's move on to the opening. So, obviously, despite being an 11-minute video, we couldn't keep everything in the video or continue talking in the actual recording, otherwise it would be going on too long. It's best to save any of the other details for the podcast, so that's exactly what we're doing right here. And I can see Raph has some notes here, so Raph, you start us off with some of the theories you have here.
Cool. So we're just going to go over a few details to mention to begin with for captures. So for those that didn't realize, I only just realized this one today, but it looks like someone's going to be catching Applin, most likely going to be Go. Huh? They were located. Yeah, they're in the top of the tree in the pool scene in the opening. I didn't even notice it myself. We'll put it on screen for you now for you guys to see. But
it's a river or stream, not a pool.
Yeah. well, the hot spring, shall we say. Yeah, there's Carablast there. Chloe's Ponyta, again, like we mentioned already, to do with the special preview. It's going to be quite interesting to see how she catches that, or if it's going to be gifted to her. Again, relating to the recent merch. And the popular one, everyone's going on about Rookidee sitting on top of Dragonite. So, is Ash going to get Rookidee? Is Go going to catch Rookidee? Would Ash's Pokemon next be after Dracovish? Again, like Zach was saying, is it going to be the popular one, Grookey? Or is it going to be actually quite a still popular Pokemon, the bird Pokemon of the region? Will it be Rookidee? People are a bit 50-50 on that, but there are a lot of theories going on about how they want him to catch that Pokemon. Talking about Gary now, one of the biggest surprises, of course, as I'm sure all you guys know from the crazy screaming.
Gary!
Gary, oh my god! Blastoise. So, we were speaking about Gary coming back maybe to either, take part in the World Coronation Series. He could maybe come back to do some research alongside Ash and the others. Again, relating to Karina, that I'm sure Zach's going to mention again. I reckon Gary will have a bit of a recurring role in the series. Maybe because he wants to, one, take part in that championship. And maybe he will be the one to show off the Gigantamax Blastoise, because there's every individual character that has a G-Max that they want to show off in the anime. Ash, Pikachu, Leon, Charizard, etc. Cinderace is probably going to be coming for Go, obviously. I reckon maybe Gary might be the one to portray that G-Max, and it could be against Ash. Kuro made a pretty good theory about how he would want to see like an OG rival battle between G-Max Pikachu and G-Max Blastoise, so I thought that was a pretty good theory as well. So there's a couple of details to take away for Gary. Leon traveling, doesn't know how to use a map. Most likely going to be a new discovery arc, maybe like what we mentioned in the opening reaction. We were talking about how Rose is still lurking around, so it could be something to do with that. It could be maybe the aftermath to do with all of the G-Max and Dynamax Pokemon, as we saw from the actual opening itself. They're still about, and it could be maybe due to a different reason. Maybe Rose has gathered intel from somewhere else and he's trying to do a different situation on that. Some people think Hop might be introduced in that segment, because maybe Leon takes them on a little trip and is like, oh yeah, by the way, this is my little brother. But we don't see him in the opening. It might be at a later time. Again, we don't know about these characters like Hop, Marnie, Bede, because we haven't had any relevant information about them. However, there is some bits, I'll talk about that later. And the last 2 points are basically to do with a segment where, in the opening, Go and Ash are looking very confidently at Leon. Now, Zach made a good point about how maybe Go take from Ash, as we've seen. He loves to battle now, and he could be the one to pursue the gym challenge. But the way he's looking at Leon, it could be maybe up for his avenue to take forward to take on Leon. So Ash obviously is going to be doing the PWC to rank up to get to Leon. Is they going to do another game avenue where you got to do the Gala Gym Challenge and then you work your way up to take on Leon? Who knows? But that was just a nice detail to look forward out of Go, because it then transitions into the next part where we see Ash and Go battling. And that's going to be a pretty intense episode for sure, because if we go all the way back to when they went to the Battle Frontier for the Flute Cup, Go was just shit. He didn't know what he was doing. He thought, oh yeah, I'm just going to use my strong Pokemon to take on everyone, and that will be it. I'll be able to get into the quarterfinals or whatever. No strategy, nothing. To now, he's picked up a lot from Ash, battling confidently, even in the segment in the Darkest Day where he just literally came out of nowhere and Dynamax Reboot, saving Sonya, all of that shit. So there's a lot to look forward to. It's just some nice segments to take away from the opening as well. People might have left those details under their noses and not thought about it compared to how we would, but yeah, we're just shedding some light on that stuff.
I mean, the whole Ash and Go thing as well. Do you remember that merchandise we got of Lucario versus Cinderace?
Yes. Yeah.
It came true.
There we go.
Yeah, exactly. It'd actually be pretty
Back
cool
in
if we got
August.
to see G-Max Blastoise versus Charizard as well. It would be nice, because I really do want to see another Dynamax battle as well. It's been since the start of the series now, if I think about it, in terms of Ash. And, yeah.
No, he's definitely going to do it now, especially since they're going to be traveling around Galar. I feel like now's the time to do it.
Yeah.
It's going to have to affect Pikachu's Gigantamax form some way, so...
Exactly, that's what I was going to bring up. Yeah, I want to see it. I'm so invested in it, but, it's just taking this long. But yeah, Zach, let's hear what your thoughts are on other stuff regarding the opening.
All right. Well, I feel like Raph pretty much explained the whole opening, so there's not really much left for me to say. But there is one point that I wanted to touch on. Forget about Gary. Forget about Iris, Wigstrom, and even B. Because we like, all right, yeah, obviously Iris and Gary, that's hype. But what I want to touch on is Karina, because the fact that she's in the intro says a lot. Because for one, a lot of people were kind of hating on the Karina episode, especially XY fans who were like heavily attached to XY and Karina. And you're like, oh, she was done dirty, this and that. And like, all right, I will admit her battle with Ash was kind of rushed. But I feel like if anything, that was just to show how powerful Ash's Dragonite is. You know what I mean? But also like shout out to TSS, because I remember he mentioned this in the Pokepod when talking about episode 25 of Journeys. It's like everyone was hating on how Karina was handled, but he was like, just wait, because like it's possible she's going to return, because from the way she was speaking, it sounds like she would be returning. She'd be a reoccurring character. And then we saw her appear in the flashback in the B episode. So that was already like her second appearance technically, even though it was more of a cameo or if anything, but still like her impact in the series, she's still like relevant, you know what I mean? And now that she's in the opening, that shows that she's definitely an important part of the series. So I feel like much like how B is pretty much Ash's rival for this series for now, it seems like Karina will probably be like a secondary rival to Ash. You know what I mean? So basically, like, let's say Paul B is like the Paul of this series. Karina's kind of like the Barry. Not saying they're the same. We're like, oh, Karina's stuck. But you know, obviously it's like
Gonna find you.
They clearly set up that B is stronger than Karina because she got her ass beat by her. But it seems like B is going to return. And I just love that they included her here, just showing it like, all right, it's not done. She's going to come back, because I feel like there's really no reason to put her in the theme song unless she was going to come back. Imagine if she didn't, then that'll be a big slap in the face. Then XY stance can get salty. You know what I mean? But what I love about this is like, I feel like the fact that Karina's still here could be hinting at the fact that she might be giving Ash a Mega Stone. For Lucario, especially, because like if you think about it, when Riolu first met Lucario, and it's like, oh, you're gonna get really strong, make sure you watch Lucario's battle. And obviously, like Riolu saw Lucario Mega Evolve, wouldn't it want to become that powerful form? Why would it want to settle for being a Lucario when it's seen it become even stronger? You know what I mean? Unless they have something completely different for Lucario, a new mechanic, an Ash Greninja variant, a new Bond phenomenon, or like an Aura Burst, trademarked by Raph, by the way. Or a burst Lucario. But I don't think, to be honest, they'll do that. It makes more sense to give him a Mega Stone, especially since they made it a thing to bring back Karina. I feel like they're definitely going to be setting this up. But it's going to be interesting to see when they interact again, for her to see Ash's Lucario now that it's evolved. Maybe have a battle between Lucario and Lucario to see how strong it is. Maybe it won't be strong enough. Maybe it'll lose to Karina's Lucario because it has more experience. And then and then maybe that'll lead to like eventually earning the Mega Stone later in the series. But I just hope we get more Karina, and it seems like we are gonna get that.
Yeah, because what you would call it? Well, why I said good there is because Karina debuted as a trainer who beat 100 trainers in a row. And then she started having struggles with Mega Evolution, which she eventually overcame. But then she lost against Ash in a gym battle. Then she lost against Alon. Then she comes back in this new series, loses against Ash. Then loses against B. So we went from this trainer who's obviously beat 100 trainers in a row to just get beaten left and right, despite having a Mega Evolved Pokemon now as well. I mean, yes, obviously she's probably defeated trainers who come into her gym, but like on screen she keeps losing as of recently. So I like to see her, you know, have an upper edge in something this time around, if you get what I'm trying to say there. And or just something else in general as well, such as what Zach said with a Mega Stone. And yeah, I'd rather it be a Mega Stone than some bullshit phenomenon form. Look, I like Ash Greninja, but let's leave it at Ash Greninja, please. So, yeah.
Like, honestly, I wouldn't be mad if Ash lost in a World Coronation Series battle against Karina, just to give her that redemption and just to show that, no, she still is a strong character. Like, I get, yeah, you wanted to show Ash's Dragonite is strong, but it's like, it is still like, huh? Like, I mean,
she took a beating.
On one side, it's awesome on Ash's end. They're like, holy shit, Dragonite's strong. But then it's also like a slap in the face from Karina, like everything she went through, which I get it. But I feel like people also take it a bit too seriously. You know, it's not like she's the main character anyway. So it's like, do you want to see Ash win or lie? You want to fucking see him lose? Like, what do you like? I don't know. What do you want?
She's gonna, like you said, she's gonna definitely come back for a big purpose. Because at the end of episode 25, she did say, "Oh, we're not done yet. And this is it. This is literally something big's gonna come."
And hopefully they handle it better because, or at least that episode was kind of like the reintroduction. And unfortunately, it wasn't a two-parter, so that's why everything feels so rushed. But now that we've gotten the introduction out of the way, I feel like her second episode would be handled a lot better because we don't have to spend time going like, oh, this is Karina, and quickly explain the backstory and like reestablish a rivalry between the two. No, like we know who Karina is, so once we see her again, we just get right to it if it's going to be a battle or whatever it is they have planned.
I mean, yeah, one thing I keep reiterating to people as well is that episode was pretty much our first episode of like a companion. Yes, a temporary companion, mind you, but like it was just to set it up for that eventual Alola one as well. And now, obviously, we're getting Iris next, so, you know, they literally keep building up more and more to these. But if there truly is going to be a part 2, like the opening is suggesting here, then, yeah, they can definitely explore her more. Because, like, even if you think about it, the first Alola episode as well, that was to reintroduce everybody as well. Literally all of it was just reintroducing things. So when it comes to part 2 of that as well, that's when we can explore more new stuff. So yeah, I just wanted to put that.
And I feel like whenever we do return to Alola, I feel like we kind of have to have at least some of the Sun and Moon companions be a part of that episode. Maybe not all. Maybe we can have like that when they go, it's just Kiawe or Mallow or whatever. Yeah. But it's like, it seems like they set up that episode just to reintroduce the characters, kind of set up where everyone is after the end of the series, after the end of Sun and Moon. And the fact that Go's like, oh, let's go back sometime, you know. I feel like Alola's the only region where I feel like you kind of have to have the characters there if Ash goes back. And no matter what, even for something small, like, they could just easily bring back one companion or whatever. Maybe, like, Kiawe's doing a trial in Pony Island or something. And that's the place that Ash and Go just so happen to be. So it's like, hey, let's link up or something. I don't know. It just feels like, at least with Sun and Moon, not trying to make this a Sun and Moon fest right now, but I feel like they set that up pretty well to have like just characters to be important, at least for that region. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe that's when they'll do the Lily part because you know she only had the little flashback of when she was writing the letter.
Yeah, I think she's in another region though. I don't know, but the point is, we'll definitely see Lily eventually. Though I'm confident in that because of her cameo there. But yeah, like, when Ash and Go do go back to Alola, the one thing they didn't introduce in the first Alola episode is Trials and the
Samson Oak.
Him too. But yeah, like, so obviously Guardian Duties and Trials are related, so, you know, that would make a good episode as well, which I'm assuming they'll probably go in that direction eventually. But enough about Sun and Moon. I think that's everything we're going to say about the opening, to be honest. You boys took out all the other words I had for it, to be honest. So let's move on to some minor stuff now. You know, merchandise or any other theories you guys have. So I could see a note here from Raph talking about Brandon from the Advanced series. So you know what? Go ahead and talk about that, bro.
Well, there was a new merchandise set that came up recently, and it featured the 2 new Reggies from Sword and Shield, and there was a Hatina there. So obviously I'm going to want to try and see if I can come up with a couple theories to speculate about it. People want to see Brandon return. People want to see the new Reggies. Is it going to have any connection to it? We don't know. People want to see Paul return to find out what happened with him and Brandon, and then everyone wants to find out about Bede because of the Hatina there. I don't even know how to pronounce the name, whatever it's called. But people are slowly starting to wonder, what about all of these other major characters? What about these Sword and Shield game characters? When are they going to get introduced into the anime? Of course, we've just had the new opening that's going to be showing a whole timeline of new events. Of course, we're still waiting to find out about new arcs. And are these characters going to be taking part in a potential arc? Are they going to be just having a character of the day focus? Or are they just going to be having a reunion of some sort? Like, imagine Ash and Paul reuniting each other after what happened in Sinnoh. And of course Cynthia was like, oh, they'll meet again in the Champion League and, you know, World Coronation. And like, Paul's still a bit stubborn and arrogant as he is, but he's like, yeah, I've grown and I want to battle you again in bloody...
You know what?
Yeah.
Like, I said this on Twitter recently as well. The original series has got fan service from all the flashbacks, Mewtwo, and Gary. Black and White has got its fan service now with Iris. X and Y got its fan service with Karina. Sun and Moon got its fan service with the whole Alola themes and all those characters. The only two series that were missing in terms of fan service is Advanced Generation and Diamond and Pearl in terms of old characters. So I would really, really love if Brandon did return, and it would make so much sense because of the new Reggies. Indeed, he can use them. And Paul, I feel like the anime knows if they were to bring back one rival out of all the rivals Ash has had throughout the years, they probably would have to go with Paul because he definitely is the most iconic.
No, technically Gary. It's Gary because Gary came back first.
But you know what I mean. You know what I mean.
I know.
15-year anniversary for Diamond and Pearl coming up soon. Who knows if they want to do a little special for that to commemorate the games and quote-unquote remakes if they happen. It could all tie in together. But yeah, it's just a couple of thoughts scattering around that, and that's it really.
You say that, but to be honest, we still haven't got an Isle of Armor or Crown Tundra thing yet.
Yeah, that too as well. What's going to happen with Urshifu? I mean, again,
actually.
The merch. Kung Fu merch. I haven't seen a lot of Calyrex stuff, but that's mainly to do with the games merch. But for the anime, there's been a Kung Fu and Urshifu that was in the same set as Chloe and Eevee. So
I mean, it'll happen eventually. But the point is, if there is to get if Diamond and Pearl remakes happen, I don't think it would happen straight away, seeing as the Sword and Shield DLCs didn't happen straight away.
Yeah.
But,
in due time.
But, I mean, out of everything you've said there, definitely the thing I would most be excited for is Brandon, because I'd just love to see another battle. And it would give the Advanced Series definitely more recognition as well. The best part of the Advanced Series, the Battle Frontier.
Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, Zach, anything else you want to add on? Any other thoughts you have on anything?
I think that's pretty much it.
Well, I think that does it for today's podcast then, bros. We went through a lot, and hopefully you lot listening enjoyed listening to us ramble on here. And if you did, then as always, please be sure to consider leaving a like, a share, and if you're new here, a subscribe along with that bell icon to stay in loop with all things Pokemon anime related. If you're listening on Spotify, a simple like on the Spotify tab is greatly appreciated. Thank you for listening, everybody. This is the PokeRaf, Lumiose Trenasac, and myself. I don't know why I did it in that order. That's very weird. Signing out.
We love you.
What about Greninja?
Shut up.